Hello and welcome to a one-off in Eco. Yeah, as you can see, there is the lovely meteoroid, and in this video, we want to check what happens if we firing our lasers at the meteoroid. Hachido! Whoa! Woo! Pew pew pew! Uh, ho 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 ho! Firing my lasers, pew pew. Uh, uh. That's some long. Whoa! Oh. That doesn't look very good. Oh, shite. um. No sound effects. You are victorious. Yay! Woo! Uh. Oh. That doesn't look very good. Wow, that did go right through the ground here. Jesus. Whoa. Okay. Well, that was better than I expected. I was bracing myself for a fucking Mass Effect 3 disappointment. Ending disappointment. Okay. Yeah, and that's basically, I guess, the final goal of Eco as of now. And it was quite kinda okay. And now I want to talk a little bit about the game itself. Yeah, I've been playing it solo on in offline mode, and to get to the last to this point, I played around 86 hours, real time hours, and yeah. Uh, if you played Minecraft before, you will see some similarities, obvious similarities. Yeah, but also some major differences. So calling this one Minecraft clone would not be fair, but it would also be not fair to say that this one wasn't inspired by Minecraft at all. So yeah, it is, or I guess it can be a decent game if you play it with a multitude of people. Playing it alone can be quite boring at times, especially when you are grinding materials for simple stuff, or even for complicated stuff. Grinding can be somewhat boring, especially if you're alone. So I would say rather play this one in multiplayer mode, or if you want to try some stuff out, you can play it in single player mode. But this game's strength is in multiplayer mode and not in single player mode. Yeah. Other than that, the game, well, it is not finished, and you can, well, feel and see that in many aspects of the game. For example, the balance of the power consumption. That's something that bothered me quite a bit while I was playing. For example, where is it? I've placed one this shitty lamp here consumes 100 watts. What in real life isn't something special. But if I take this assembly line and check the status, no, not status. What? Didn't it have? Oh, it doesn't have. What? Wait, let me check something else. uh, couldn't I check how much energy those things draw? What the fuck? Ah, here. Let's take that for example. That's a rolling mill. When it works, basically in real life, such things are enormous, and they are basically rolling long stretches of metal into plates or something else. And this machinery only takes 250 watts when operating. That doesn't sound really feasible compared to that shitty lamp here. Either they up the energy requirements of those machines in the, well, I guess, how much would that take? Well, I guess it would be a three-phased, at least three-phased, and amperage in the double digits, at least in the double digits. So I guess 5 or 6 digit wattage should be used by those machinery, or they reduce the consuming power of this lamp, because it is in no the comparison doesn't work. So let's see, the blastings. That's something else I wanted to talk about, and that is the charcoal. Well, you can basically craft charcoal in order to use it as a fuel, but I think I have maxed that one out. Yes, no. I have, I'm missing one skill point. Oh, wait a second, let me check that. Steelworking efficiency. I need to check that out. Was it here? No, steel construction. Okay, 80%. So let's just say it reduces to 2 lumber. So basically what we have here, in order to create a charcoal, you need, I think it's only two when it's completely skilled out, the steel efficiency. That means you need 2 lumbers. So 2 lumbers will be crafted by this nice sawmill, and 1 lumber needs 2 logs. So, and that one is skilled out. So you will always need 2 lumbers, 2 logs, which you get from trees, to make 1 lumber. So that means if you want to make 2 lumbers, you need 4 logs. So let's see how much energy 1 log has. 1 log, as you can see, fuel is 4,000 joules. So that means we will be wasting, turning 16,000 joules into, what did I say? Into 8,000 joules. So we basically lose 8,000 joules there at this point. And we need to add that this machine also takes 100 watts while crafting, per second that is. That's per second. So that means we have, when we craft two lumbers, that's 24 seconds for both lumbers. So that means 24 times 100, blah, blah, blah. That energy will be consumed. And with those 8k lumbers, we would go to our blast furnace and turn them into charcoal, which would become 20k joule. Burnable fuel. But I think they should, they need to adjust the numbers here, since unless you skill that one completely out, it is not viable at all to chop down those few trees you have in your world and make them into charcoal, and wasting all the time and energy in the process to making charcoal out of them. The only good thing about charcoal is that it has a high energy per weight ratio. That is, we have 20k joules in 1 kilogram of mass, which is quite high compared to a log. Have I a log somewhere? Let's check. Is there a log somewhere? Okay, a log weighs about 10 kilos and has 4k joules. So you can see that the energy by weight ratio is better in the charcoal, but in order to make the charcoal, you waste a fuck ton of energy in order to get there. In my case, at my current efficiency skilling, or at my first first at my actual skilling, let's see, steelworking. So we need to get that to 5. Unless you have steelworking efficiency at 5, you will wasting a lot of energy. As I said, at my current point, I would waste 40,000 energy joule by making the charcoal with 4 lumbers instead of less. So it doesn't make much sense to craft those. Yeah, another thing which is quite funny is our oil jack, or jack, what's it called? Let me get in there. Pump jack. You can place the pump jack where the fuck you like, and it will always produce oil. And that's just silly. As you can see, we will check that out. That oil jack stands on the ceiling there of my oil refinery, and it still does produce oil, which is bullshit. I think that should be changed as well, or yeah, some minor adjustments maybe. Okay, then this one is currently in game. Yeah, the excavator and the controls. Let's not pin it just on the excavator. You can also build a wooden cart, and the same applies to the wooden cart. The controls are absolutely horrible. So using this to dig out shit, well, it does dig quite fast. This demolition of this area here was in less than, I don't know, 5 seconds or so. So yeah, the controls are horrible. And that goes for the wooden cart as well. This little fella here, which you can use to transport various materials. And yeah, if you go over a ledge, or just have a little slight incantation. Incantation, is that the right word? Or is a little ledge, like well, let me drop it off. Like this, there's a little ledge. What can happen is that you can't pull your cart over there, which is hilarious if you ask me. That doesn't make any sense. So, the next one I like to complain about is the weight stuff. So, for example, you could carry 20 of those big ore chunks, but what can you not do? You cannot carry a fuck ton of ingots. Let's see. Oh, 9. I can only carry 9 ingots, which, even though I know the ingots have a higher density than this fucking rocks, but you can carry 20 of those fucking enormous ore logs or stone, or of those hewn logs. You can also carry 20, which makes no fucking sense weight-wise. Oh, another thing. Let's see. 100 rams, 200 rams, 294 rams. You can carry 200 and more. You could put your entire inventory full with those rams. Those are stone rams. Does it make sense? No. That should be addressed as well, I guess. Carrying a fuck ton of rams makes no sense. So, another thing. Do I have one here? Yes, indeed. So, I used through all the playthrough my trusty stone pick. Why did I do that? For once, or what is the main difference between the stone pick and this iron pick? Well, the only thing I found is that the iron pick has a higher durability, and that is fucking expensive to repair. So in order to repair this tightly tight stone pick, you need 5 stone if it's completely broken, which is nothing. But if you want to repair a fucking broken iron pickaxe, you need 10 flippin' iron ingots, which is fucking ridiculous if you think about it. You can repair, I think it has 500 uses. You can repair it quite easily with stone, which is abundant in this world and doesn't produce any what's the English word? Pollution. The stone pickaxe doesn't produce any pollution by repairing it. In contrast, the fucking iron pick, you need to smelt the iron either with the kiln, which produces tailings, which creates waste if you place it somewhere. Other than that, you can craft iron ingots obviously with the blast furnace, but that produces, where is it, CO2 and other filth, which then is absorbed by the air basically. And I haven't figured out if that count will be reset or countered by the plant life on your planet. But yeah, basically iron tools and steel tools and the modern tools are a waste of raw material basically, because you never want to craft those since they basically produce pollution if you repair them. So that should be something that should be addressed as well. Either they reduce the repairing cost of those tools that are higher tier than stone. Yes, I nearly forgot that. If you want to craft iron pick, let's see how expensive that is to craft iron pickaxe. I don't remember where it was. I think it was at the anvil. So let's see. An iron pickaxe, maximum skilled, needs 4. I say it again, 4 ingots and 2 planks, but you can shit on those planks basically, but it needs 4 compared to the 10 you need to repair it. So there is a slight problem there. Rather than repairing your pickaxe, you can basically build 2.5 new one instead of wasting 10 ingots and create pollution. No. Let's better craft 2.5 new ones. Okay, what else? Yeah, the trees I think are a problem as well if you don't farm them. Well, in my case I played solo, so it wasn't a big of a problem. But yeah, trees are basically very, very, very important. Maybe the most important natural resource right after charcoal. Because in early game everything you need to build out of wood, and in later game it can be somewhat of an inconvenience if you don't have any wood, if you want to craft certain things. So yeah, that's something you need to watch out in early game. So you should live near a forest. That would be a good idea. Or you start early and plant your own forest. And yeah, so what else? Yes, coal. As you can see, I have some marker in the distance for coal. Those are spots where coal is spawned on the surface, since I haven't found any coal in the underground, or in the mine basically. So when you basically placing your base, you should check if there is some coal deposits in the area, because you basically need coal for many things. The most important thing is the blast furnace, of which you will using several, I guess. At least I needed two to get shit done in a timely manner. Then you need coal for the kiln to make bricks and stuff, and of course for cooking you need charcoal or coal as well. And I don't think, aside from the mill, there isn't anything that doesn't need. Let me check that one. I think that one needs coal as well. Yes, all the kitchen appliances need coal or wood or planks or whatever you want to use. Sadly, you can't use oil or something like that for those things, which is something else you may that may needs to be checked out. Maybe they will put in natural gases or something like that. Yeah, so that's about that. Okay, let's see. What else can we talk about? Yeah, let's talk about something else, and that is mining itself. So I think it is a fun thing to do. I enjoy it quite much, but there is a glaring bug while mining. I don't know if we can get it to show while I'm recording, but let's see. Nope, nothing happening there. So basically what sometimes happens when you mine shit is that the ore or the stone disappears. Disappears, you say? Yes. I don't know what's happening, but I guess it has to do with the collision model, or with the collision of certain things that you mine. And what basically happens is that the stuff you mine down here will be somehow teleported on the surface, or let's say it will be moved to the surface. And yeah, that's something quite annoying when you are mining for a few hours, in my case. Yeah, so I was annoyed that the ore and the stone was disappearing, but when I came back to the surface at some point, I had the ore and the stone all over the place. There was some in that area, and even on top, let me go back there, on top of there was stone and ore to be found. On top of there. I don't know how that's a thing, but yeah, I guess that's a bug that needs to be fixed as well. And let's say one more thing. It's not an inconvenience, but it is a little. Let's make two more things. The second to last thing I want to talk about is fuck, I forgot. Just when I rearranged my wording there, I forgot what I was talking about. Ah, there's a stone that got teleported up. What did I want to talk about as well? Fuck. Yes, the second the thing that I want to say in addition was fishing should be improved as well. As it stands, you can, as I found out or not found out, I was fishing quite some bit. I had also planted down a fishing trap. Fishing trap? I guess you call it that. You basically need to look where the fish is at first when you try to fish or lay down traps. It doesn't do anything if you put down the trap or trying to fish with the fishing rod at any location at all, if there aren't fishes in the water that you can see. So basically I wasted nearly an hour to fish fish. But it was wasted since you can only fish where fish are, which in real life makes sense, but in a game, it, I think they should adjust it a little bit. Maybe like in Minecraft, that we have a random chance to get a fish. Um, not bound to the fact that there are actually fishes in the water. You need to physically see the fishes in the water in order to fish them currently. And when we are at well, I guess we can expand on this. Hunting. Hunting is a pain in the ass. Something you may want to change, or that should be changed, is how the animals behave when you hunt them. Um, you need to see that for yourself. Basically, you shoot some animal, and if you shoot an animal that doesn't die with one shot, it basically will be off. It will run, climb, yeah, ledges, which is fucking ridiculous. I understand if a deer can get up ledges because those fuckers can jump in real life, but if you hunt a bison or what's the name? Some kind of what was it? Not the rabbit. Where's my butchering table? If you hunt turkeys, those fuckers can climb ledges. You won't believe it. That makes no sense. And in a speed, unbelievable. They get up here in no time, and that makes no sense. Another thing that would be nice if those animals get some kind of a marker or something like that if you killed them, because here it's not a problem, but if you venture into the nature and try to kill any animal, basically here in this high vegetation, you may be not hunted at all because you won't find it ever again. And after a few seconds, your animal body, which you slayed, will despawn. So yeah, that's quite annoying. I had a few animals, even big ones like wolves or deers, disappearing on me because I couldn't find the body in this fucking high vegetation. So please give them a marker or something if you slay them. That would be nice. A temporary waypoint or something like that. That would be awesome. Yeah, so, but what was the second thing I wanted to talk about? Fuck. What was it? Well, I guess it wasn't that important since I can't seem to remember. Yes. No. I got it. Coal. As I said before, I have coal markers there, and I haven't found any coal underground. Basically, I only have found it on the surface, basically, which is a little bit annoying. As you can see, the closest coal spot for me is around 360 meters, and there's the ocean between, so it takes a fucking while to get there. Maybe that's something that ought to be changed as well, that you can find coal while digging. And yeah, there's something else we maybe could talk about at this point. I just remembered, and that is the lowest level where you can get ore. So far I found that this is the last area, or the last layer, where you can find ore. So let's see if we get, wait a second, let me check. No, this layer. So we are on, if you can read that in the lower right corner, the middle number is 27. There is no ore below layer 27. Granted, you can only dig down to level 7, but there are still 20 layers in between where you cannot. Well, there is ore. Never mind. I didn't remember that at all. Yeah, but I haven't found any ore here on my quest to the lowest, deepest level you can go, which is basically layer 7, as you can see now, or not if you can't read that number in the top and the lower right corner. Yeah, so maybe change, or the ore ought to be changed somehow. Well, coal is not an ore, but you know what I mean. Maybe there should be something done with that. Maybe in that regard you can also put in oil into the ground, or I don't know. So it makes more sense to put down a pump jack somewhere if you checked for oil beforehand with some kind of technology or a tested drilling or something like that. So what else? Yes, that's something you could change maybe. Is as you can see, it is quite light. Is that the right word? You can see shit basically down here without me having any light sources here, and that's by night. We are currently at night, and that's not something that should make any sense at all. It should be fucking pitch black here if you don't use standing torches or electric lamps or whatever. So yeah, that ought to be something to be changed as well. What else? Is there anything else I can shit upon? Well, clipping here. As you can see, there are some major clipping issues, but that's not so bad. And now I just remembered what I wanted to say before, what I forgot. Let me, for that, get up there to the top first. Let's take my little carriage with me, with that shitty control. Well, basically you pull it behind you, but it can get stuck, and that's quite annoying. And it can also teleport the fuck around when you're underground. Basically the same that happens to the ore sometimes happens to the wooden cart as well. And that should be maybe something that should be changed as well. Maybe look at the physics of the collision physics of those things again. Yeah, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is tubing. The game has a problem, and that is sometimes it crashes. I haven't figured out the reason for that. And when it crashes, at least in the offline version, it seems to do a little rollback, or the interval where stuff is saved basically fucks up something. So in all the 86 hours I played this game, I only built one card. But after a crash, somehow a second one spawned on top of here. And the problem with the second one is you can't. Well, that's not the right thing. Wait a second. The problem with that one is maybe that's not anymore. So. Wait a second. Will you be done now? Yes. As you can see, you cannot pick up. You must have the correct deed in the inventory. Well, I have the deed for this one, but I don't have a deed for the copied one, or for the duped one, so that's the problem. And that doesn't apply only to movable objects, that also applies to other stuff. And for example, I have this one here, this high-end, high-tier crafting shebang, the factory. I got a duped factory, which has no textures, I guess, which got duped by a crash as well. So that's maybe something you could look into, or the game makers could into, the duping of shit. And what else? Ah, yes. There's something else we might want to talk about, and that is the washing board. Duh. If you have seen my Twitter feed, you maybe have seen it already. But there is a problem with the washing board, one layer down. And that is the washing board looks like that. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? If you build it and have it in your inventory, you have an icon that resembles a washing board, but if you place it in the world, it doesn't seem to have an in-game what's the word, skin texture, but it seems to work. If you can see it here, the washing board does count to my bathroom, so it seems to work, but simply doesn't have a skin. So that's something. Well, the game is not done, I guess, so that will be fixed in the future. Yeah. What else could we talk about? Yeah. Well. Let's not. Let's talk a little bit or a short while about energy production. The only thing I basically used in my playthrough was, well, the solar collector, windmills, which wind turbines, which I only built for my lasers. Yeah, other than that, I only used that wooden wind turbine and that water wheel there, which clips right through the hewn logs there. So there are different energy producing machines. For one, there should be somewhere. Where are you? I don't remember where those are at. Basically, there are combustion engines somewhere, which obviously use some fuel and produce. I guess they produce crap in turn, pollution. But I haven't even built them. Well, because it doesn't make any sense to build those, since you wanna try to create as less as pollution as you can. Not less, few is the right word here, as few pollution as you can. So I haven't built any of those there, and basically I only used clean energy producing machines, which worked out quite fine. But I think they need to adjust the price or the crafting costs on those. I have what was it, industrial efficiency skilled up to 5, so to the highest level, and those things only cost 2 iron ingots to be crafted. Only 2. So you can reckon it's quite cheap to craft those windmills compared to the laser, who was fucking expensive, even with high skilled efficiency. Let's have a look at that. So you need 2 circuits. That's not. No, wait, where is it? There it is. You need 10 circuits, which, well, I guess is quite bad, because you need other stuff to craft those circuits. I think it was copper wiring, and you need plexiglass, or what's it called? And you need, what else? There were 3 things. Let me see. Circuit recipe. Ah, yes. Gold flakes and substrate. Substrate, copper wiring, and gold flakes. And for the substrate, you need something else. Fiberglass and epoxy. So you need a fuck ton of material to craft those lasers, which are even at what do I have, the electronic engineering efficiency 5, which is the highest level, which is still quite expensive. I have it reduced by 80%, so you will have to pay a fuck ton of more materials if you don't have that at 5. Steel, I don't think is a problem because you can get steel quite easily. Gold is, that's something else I would say is quite expensive. Even now, I need 20 ingots. I guess you need around 100 at no efficiency at all, which is quite expensive to get or to find gold. I haven't found that much. I think I had around 200 to 300 ingots at a maximum skilled efficiency. So yeah, compared to those wind turbines, that is ridiculous. Or maybe change the recipe for the windmills, so you need basically to craft an electric engine or something, a generator basically. It would make sense, aside from the combustion generator, have an electric generator, which is then used as a part of the wind turbine and not only to iron ingots. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so what was I guess the rest, some minor balancing issues should be done. Yeah, that's something else we could check out. Let's look in there. A barrel, for example, needs 1 iron ingot, but such enormous wind turbine needs only 2, makes no sense. So there should be some adjustments made as well. What else? Maybe some adjustments to the kiln. That would be nice. Nay, not kiln. Was it bloomery? Wait. Bloomery. Yes. The bloomery is basically the first tier of ore smelting, which produces the tailings. And that's something there should be made some adjustments as well. Basically, all the ore I melted until I got the blast furnace produced around, let me think, on the top I have on the top where we had the laser array controller as a computer lab, where we had that on the top of everything. I have 10 full stockpiles of tailings, and there is one down here. Is there a second one? No, there's only this one. Yeah, that's a little bit too much for that little ore. I haven't even smelted the majority with the bloomery, so I guess it's maybe 200 or 300 ores I smelted, and I got that fucking big amount of tailings there with those that are on top there. That doesn't make any sense. So that's something else that maybe should be adjusted in the future. Who knows? But I guess I should stop bashing the game. But I guess those are viable criticisms, or that is viable criticism so far. Other than that, I can say it did made some fun, and I still will continue to play it, because there are a few things I still need to try out. For once, I haven't built everything you can build here. For example, construction post. What else did I have not crafted yet? Tallow candle I haven't crafted. Then let's go into the paper thingy. Where is it? In the carpentry table. I haven't crafted everything here, so chair, contract board. There are a few things I need to try out before I can say what I really think about this game, I guess. That's something that needs to be changed as well. The wooden straw bed looks like a barrel, like a wooden barrel. So yeah. And seed creation is something I haven't touched at all. As you can see, I still haven't gotten those things skilled. Since playing alone, it wasn't necessary to build big fields of food. So that's maybe something that needs to be looked at as well. Yeah, food creation in relation to how many people play, I guess, because food was never an issue for me. If I was hungry, I did go out for a while, gathering some shit and throwing some shit together. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah. So yeah, other than that, it is quite fun, and I guess if you play with several people, you can devise a plan which person does what, so you can specialize in certain areas. So you are also a little bit dependent on the other people, so which is interesting, since you can craft quite a few more things I found. I think somewhere you can craft a shop. I don't remember where was it. Somewhere you can craft a shop. Ye old shoppy. Where was it? Which I haven't crafted so far. And you as well can craft some minting stuff with which you can craft currency, which is something, since I'm alone, I haven't touched at all. Or here a treasury where you can, yeah, basically set taxes, which, since I'm not, I play alone, no need for me there. And yeah, so that's some aspect I couldn't play with, which could be interesting. Since let's have a look at our oil refinery. You can where is it? Was it at out? No, public? No, that wasn't it. Credits. Ah, yes, you can basically at some machinery you can set a price which people need to pay in order to use those facilities. So I guess that's some future I would love to try out in the future. But for that you basically need to play on a server with other people or in LAN with other people. Yeah, what else didn't did I not get to try out? The lawmaking, also the government aspect of the game. So you could basically yeah, propose law and oh fuck, what happened there? Yeah, so it opened my browser. Okay, that was nothing I wanted to do. So yeah, you can do propose laws and shit, which I couldn't do since, or I didn't bother with since no point in me making a law when I play only with myself. Insert random perverted joke there. Yeah, no, yeah, so that's something I will try out in the future maybe, and there's something else, but I don't remember where that thing was at. What? I know it. Ah, I think it was in the carpentry table. And that is the old shoppy, I think. Was it in here? No. What the fuck? Somewhere you could build a shop. Oh, masonry. Then it was in the masonry. Was it now? Let's see. Let's have a look at that. Bab. No. What the fuck? Somewhere I did see a shop. What the fuck? Where was it? Somewhere you could craft a shop. It wouldn't make sense in the assembly, wouldn't it? No, I don't think so. No, where was it? Somewhere you could craft a shop. Huh. It's strange. I remember seeing that shop icon somewhere. Research there. Store. There is it. There. Oh, well, why not craft it right now? I have the materials. Okay, 3 minutes. I guess we can waste some time until that is done. Yeah, okay. Let's put down some food I have. Or raw food. Let's put it that way. Some berries. Oh shit. My inventory. That's maybe something the developers need to have a look at, and that is the the linking of storages or the being able to move shit. For example, what I did is there was another stockpile here and one up further up there. And what I basically did do, I put the tailings from over there. I accessed that stockpile there, and I could access the stockpile on top of this over here and put basically the tailings in there, and that way I moved all the tailings, all 8 or 10 stockpiles rich up there without me physically moving them, which doesn't make any sense at all, at least to me. So that's something as well the developers should have a look at, which, well, I think it is quite helpful if you want to move ores and stones from underground, which I basically did as well. Below there are additional stockpiles. That one? Yeah, that's directly below this one in the underground. And what I did, I have a network basically of stockpiles underground, and I moved the ores from stockpile to stockpile in order to get it to over there here without me running and moving that physically, because you can only carry 20 ores, and in your wooden cart you can only carry as much or as long it is below 750 kilograms, which are, I think, are 2.5 stacks of ore. So yeah, you can't move much ore by hand or with carrier wagon. So that's something that should be changed, because I don't think it is intended that you can move items through stockpiles without physically moving them. Yeah. Man, bashing the game quite some time. Yeah, but it is still fun. It is still fun. But I think what the game else needs is a goal beyond the destroying of the asteroid, because basically now, aside from trying out a few things I haven't tried out so far, there's fuck all to do in this game so far. But I guess that is a sandbox game for you, so yeah. And I think in the future the prices for the things will be adjusted, so you can't get that easily to the finish line, basically, like I did. At least it wouldn't make any sense. So this is the old shoppy. Let's see. Okay. Does it need to get into a building? Tier 1 materials. Okay, that's not a problem. We have some more. Let's put it into the fishery. My fishery building, where nothing else is in aside from the fishing shebang. Let's put the old shoppy in here. So let's see. Oh, it needs something else. Must have an owner. Oh, okay. How do I add an owner? Let's I guess I need to what's the word? Claim that area. Oh, wait a second. My deeds. Do I have my deeds on me? I have my deeds on me. Okay. Let's claim some shit here. Zack. Okay, ye oldie shop. Come on, get over there. I want the entire building be owned. No, it doesn't want to. 1 second, please. We need to claim the whole building. Well, it doesn't seem to have a big. That's another thing we maybe want to talk about quickly. The claiming has basically nothing else aside from the shop there, and the housing stuff. There's no other reason to claim shit. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, now the entire building is claimed. So let's see. Okay, it's okay. Credits. You have infinite credits. Yeah! Yeah. Storage. Okay. Store. Add entry. Okay. Okay. I can sell that shit? Who would want to buy that? No one. Okay, but okay, let's see. What can we put in? Let's put in some hewn log. Sold out? Why is that sold out? Wait a second. Let's put in 6 and let's get some hewn logs. 69 skill points. Duh. Oh, no, don't want the ore. Don't want the ore. Let's take the hewn logs, of which you can carry 20, which doesn't make any sense at all. Because they are enormous. Enormous. Okay, so can I drop it in here? Huh? Doesn't work. I can't put them. Maybe with a shovel? No. Hello? Hello? Let's try again. Where are you? There you are. Why won't you work? Do we need to do that via storage? And that's another problem I have with the game. No explanations whatsoever, and the wiki is shit. It's basically shit. Don't use it. It's crap. First of all, there's not everything in the wiki, and the stuff that is in there is useless. So now it works. Okay, so basically we need chests and stockpiles in the area to shit. Okay, let's see if we put in that as well. Price. Okay, you can set the price. Okay, maximum buy. Okay, so how do I buy now? No, how do I buy now? Total value of stock 84. Okay. Well, maybe that's something I need to try out on a live server with other people. So yeah, let's come to an end, I guess. And yeah, maybe some final words or something like that. Yeah, so I will continue playing this without recording, of course, and see what else you can do here. And maybe waiting for some more patches and then play additional content if they added something like that. They announced a boat and what was it? A mining machine to mine underground. So I'm all in ears. No, that's not the right wording there. I'm quite curious about that when that comes live. So yeah, that will be interesting. I hope they will change the controls of the vehicles at some point, because that's terrible. Yeah, but I think this game could be fun if you play with a big amount of people, not only 4 or 10 or so. I think if you play this game with with a few people, you should also make different settlements basically, and trade between settlements, or even do some bad things in between each other. War! For example, no, yeah, so there should be some competition happening between villages or settlements, I guess. That would be something awesome. And yeah, I guess it could be a fun game if they keep working on it. As it stands now, it is, if you play alone, a little bit boring because there's fuck all to do aside from building your lasers and blowing up some meteorite or asteroid in that case. And yeah, I guess it can be an okayish game. Currently, it costs, I think, 78 or 79 bucks. And sadly, I must say, it's at the moment it's not worth that kind of money. The way it is now, maybe 7, 8, or 10 stretches it quite a bit. Well, you could argue I spent 86 hours to get to the final thing, but the only reason for that is because this game is basically a ginormous time sink, and you can do stuff faster than, well, you could do things faster if you know the fuck what you need to do and do it in the right order. I guess you can reduce the time by a big margin, but still you have to wait for shit to be done. So you basically need to what's the word? Let me quickly check that before I say something wrong. You need to keep yourself occupied or something like that while shit is being crafted, and you basically wait for it. And yeah, because of that, the game is not worth the 30 bucks at all. Maybe if you play in multiplayer, you can get enough out of it, but if you use it only as a single player game, it is not worth the money as it is now. And yeah, so, well, we are at the point where it only makes sense, I guess, to play this game in multiplayer, since single player it's not worth it. So if you are interested in playing the game, get some friends. I would say 10 is maybe a little bit high, but I would think 10 people plus would be a good start to get the ball rolling, to have at least a little bit fun. Yeah. In the end, it is a sandbox game, and you need to make the content basically yourself. For example, if you play with a fuck ton of people, you could make a hunting tournament. Who hunts the most shit into in a certain amount of time, or I don't know, who produces certain amount of materials or foods or whatever, or generates enough money in a certain amount of time, or currency in that case. Yeah, that could be stuff you could that would be player-made content basically, or do contests with building houses or shit like that. And that's something the developers may need to touch on as well. There need to be more materials and more options. Basically, there need to be more options to craft things, not only in wood, stone, and bricks. And yeah, well, you have the tier 3 with the steel, but it's not very interesting to build stuff with that. I guess there will be more objects in the future, but currently it's not enough. It's not enough. Okay, enough rumbling about. Let's quickly put a final sentence in there. Play this in multiplayer and you will be fine. You will having some fun, I guess. And other than that, single player not worth it. And with that, see you around. Until next time. Goodbye.